Everyone. Let me allow another 30 seconds for the delegates to settle. And in the meantime, let me invite the panelists to come and join me on the podium or on the dais. We have three eminent people, Mr. Rajendra Pawar. Please. Mr. Harsh Manglik and Mr. Raju Bhatnagar. Just been invited to join on the dais. I'll give a brief introduction about them, but before I get started, just want to talk a little bit about NASSCOM Foundation, about this panel discussion, and also the format of the discussion. First and foremost, this is an important panel discussion that's sponsored not just by NASSCOM, but NASSCOM Foundation as well. As you all know, NASSCOM Foundation is part of NASSCOM, but a separate organization dealing with societal side of the impact that NASSCOM is making. It's, if you like, the CSR arm of NASSCOM. The funding for NASSCOM Foundation is two ways. One, seed funding provided by NASSCOM through the fee it collects from the members. So all the member companies should feel proud that part of the contribution that they make to NASSCOM goes towards the foundation activities. In addition, NASSCOM Foundation generates its own funding through various events and activities, and these are used exclusively for the purpose of fulfilling the corporate social responsibility on behalf of the member companies as well as NASSCOM. Over the last several years, NASSCOM Foundation has done some excellent work. There is one particular piece of work that has been initiated, which is an ongoing project of NASSCOM Foundation that's well known. It's known as RKN, or the Rural Knowledge Network. Rural Knowledge Network, as the name suggests, are networks that are created in the interior parts of the country. There are over 100 such centers all over India, providing knowledge capability to people in remote parts so that they can participate in the inclusive growth of the IT and the BPO industry as well as other industries. That's the anchor activity of NASSCOM Foundation. And we, the members of NASSCOM, should be really proud of the work that NASSCOM Foundation is doing, both in terms of the work associated with RKN plus other activities. We'll have an opportunity to talk a little more about the NASSCOM Foundation activities, both during the presentation by the panelists, as well as towards the end if we have the time. We have the CEO of NASSCOM Foundation, Rufina, who's here with us. She's also available for interaction during the discussion stage at the end. And Mr. Jerry Rao, who just joined us, is the chairman of NASSCOM Foundation and plays a very active role in setting direction and looking at the possibilities as to how NASSCOM and the member companies can participate in this inclusive growth. With that introduction, let me come to the panel discussion. We have a very interesting and a very enlightening panel today. The format would be each of the panelists will speak for about 15 to 20 minutes, followed by up to 5 minutes of Q&A for that specific speaker. That way this panel discussion is a little different. After all the three panelists have concluded their presentations or speeches and answering some specific questions pertaining to their presentation, we'll throw it open in the last 15 to 20 minutes for questions from the audience to all the panelists. We have about 90 minutes of time. We should conclude the session by 1. Let me introduce the first speaker, Mr. Rajendra Pawar. He is the chairman and co-founder of NIIT Technologies Limited. that encompasses two businesses, NIIT Technologies, the software and services arm, and also NIIT Limited, the learning services organization. I'm sure that there is nobody here in the organization that's not familiar. Oh, sorry. Okay. There was a change that we agreed to just before coming in here that I forgot. The order in which we are going to speak is slightly different. It's going to be Mr. Harsh Manglik first. The reason we switched the order was Harsh is going to focus a lot more on the need side. What is it that the industry, not necessarily just the IT and the BPO industry, but larger industry require? Set the context, followed by Raju Bhatnagar and then Rajendra Pawar. Thanks for reminding me, Raj. Harsh Manglik is the chairman and managing director of Accenture in India. He is responsible for the growth and development of its business across all of the company's Indian operations. He's an engineering graduate from IIT Kanpur and an holder of an MBA from Carnegie Mellon University and a master's degree in mechanical engineering from Case Western Reserve University. Mr. Manglik has more than 25 years of experience as a global business and consulting leader and has held several corporate responsibilities. He is currently based in Delhi and has been an active member of both NASSCOM and NASSCOM Foundation. Let me invite Harsh first to make the presentation on the topic for this evening, or topic for this morning, which is, although the topic talks about rural employability, etc., it's much more about inclusive growth. Inclusive growth that represents, and this is an industry that's growing rapidly. India as a country is growing rapidly. Most of the activities of the member companies of NASSCOM have been viewed as giving, contributing, taking up projects. That's not what it is about. It's not about just giving. It's about including in the larger context, delivering growth in remote areas of this country, making the people in remote places part of this whole revolution that's happening in this country. And that's why we are talking about rural employability in the larger context of inclusive growth. Harsh.